It's no secret at this point that Georgia hasn't signed a quarterback in the 2023 recruiting class. Obviously, early signing day yesterday. A lot of buzz going about recruiting. It's not too late, I guess, to flip somebody, but I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, Matt is always going to be able to tell you more about that. They've got a guy in the 24 class that they really like that Matt's been all over. And they've got 3 guys behind Stetson Bennett that will be there next year, barring a transfer. I don't have inside knowledge on the transfer. I don't. I know I made a comment about Brock Vandagriff potentially transferring. I don't know. He might. I actually don't know. I'm not. I wasn't trying to make anything of that. But, you know, I was at the Kirby Smart press conference on Wednesday in the middle of signing day, and people asked him about the quarterback. They asked him that people are making a deal of it. As always, a deal is made out of everything. I don't think it's a huge deal just because there's a lot of talent in the 24 class. They already got a guy committed and all of that. And they've got people from the last 3 classes, 4 and 5-star guys from the last 3 classes. They're waiting behind Stetson Bennett. Obviously, Stetson's not going to be there next year, barring some sort of, if he can get a 7th year, that'd be crazy. I don't think that's happening. I don't know where that would come from. Kirby said some things about the quarterback position I want to share with you guys. I'm sure you may have seen on the site or on our YouTube channel, but I want to reiterate that and dive into it. Ryan Crowley from Dog Post here, talking about Georgia's quarterback room. They didn't get a 2023 guy, how I don't think it's a big deal. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. All of the Keely Ringo signed merchandise. Links are down below for Ticket IQ, things like that. Everything that you need is down below. It might be a little late. It's probably too late, actually, to order something from us and it'd be a Christmas gift, but it doesn't, it could be a late gift. It could be something you give in the future. It could just be for yourself. There's lots of cool stuff in the link down below. So he was asked about why they didn't have a quarterback. He said a few things. I'll start with this. I think it's irrelevant in today's day and age. The portal is full of them. There's going to be multiple guys in every year. You want to do the best job you can to get the best quarterback you can get. And when he said that, there was buzz in the media room. There's always buzz in the media room. Listen, I'm friends with a lot of those guys. But there was buzz in the media room about how, maybe they're getting a transfer this year. They might. I'm not sure yet. A couple of the better transfer quarterbacks are, I think, not up for grabs anymore. And I know Graham Mertz, I don't know if that's a guy they wanted, but the Graham Mertz from Wisconsin, a guy that went to Florida, just an example of one of the better ones that has already picked. People think that Deion Sanders' son will follow him to Colorado. I don't think it's been made official yet as I'm recording this video, but they might get a transfer. I don't know. There's a couple good ones left in the portal. They might get a transfer, but just because they didn't get someone in this 2023 class doesn't mean that they're in shambles or anything. I mean, I've got the 3 guys rotating on the board in order of the depth chart. So Carson Beck is the presumed starter at the moment for 2023, a guy that's shown some flashes this year in the moments he's gotten to. He's also shown why he may not be ready and why Stetson's the starter. Brock Vandagriff has all the physical tools, but the word on the street is he hasn't put it all together yet. Will he? Can he beat out Carson Beck in this coming offseason in the spring? And then you've got Gunnar Stockton, the true freshman, who I assume is going to redshirt. That would make sense. It'll be a redshirt freshman next year. So you have 3 guys. If one of them leaves, then you only have 2 guys, and then there's an issue. Now, if none of them leave, then they're fine. And in 2024, they've got Ryan Puglisi, who the guy from Connecticut that they seem to really like, that's been flying up everyone's ranking system over the last few months. Here's some more what he said. When you have 3 quarterbacks, talking about these guys, sometimes you don't have any. And when you have 1 quarterback, that's when you have a quarterback. And you know what he means. Sometimes when you have 2 quarterbacks and they're both good, you don't have a true starting quarterback. That's what he means. He said, we're very pleased with what we have in our quarterback room. We think we've got 3 quarterbacks that are going to be really good. So the concern wasn't about a quarterback. They've gotten a lot of great guys. They can still hit the transfer portal if they want. And that is going to be there every year. Things have changed. And everyone's talking about, it's so different. It's so different. It's ruining the game. It's not ruining the game for Georgia because they're competing for another playoff run and they won last year and they'll probably continue to compete over the next few years. So it doesn't really matter for Georgia, is kind of my point. Because they're going to get the guys, the schools like Georgia and Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, whatever, USC, they're going to get the guys, right? I think it hurts the smaller schools more, if it hurts anybody. And money's people talk about the NIL money and, oh, you're guaranteed NIL money. That's like a guarantee coaches have given or programs have given, maybe. I know a lot of people get upset about all these changes in college football, and some of them I don't agree with either, but I don't really care either. Because at the end of the day, I don't think the sport's going to change as much as people are freaking out about with transfer and NIL. It's added new elements. The transfer portal is going to change it more than NIL, in my opinion. But I don't think that the sport's going to change that much. The competition level is the same. The conference realignment is going to make things a little different, and it could make it better. Playoff expansion, obviously going to make some changes, but we're talking about those changes. I don't think they're that big of a deal. Kirby went on to say, and none of the skill players made it about the quarterback because they know what we've signed the last 3 to 4 years. They know what we have potential to sign in 2024. So it's one of those deals that the quarterback position kind of sells it based on who your offensive coordinator is and how your offense does, and we've excelled in that. So, my takeaway from this was that Kirby and staff is comfortable with where they are at quarterback, that they aren't freaking out about the fact that they didn't get a 23 guy. One of the things I think that adds that is the buy-in and the connection that they talk about with this program. Stetson was bought in. Carson's been bought in. Carson could have left last year, right? I mean, JT left. Carson could have left too, and that would have left the quarterback room behind Stetson being Brock Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton. Carson could have left and started probably in a lot of schools, Power 5 schools. He didn't, though. He knows his opportunity is ahead. He knows what Georgia does, and I think that's part of the reason why he stayed, obviously. He's got a ring on his finger, for crying out loud. All, outside of Gunnar, all the three of those quarterbacks. They might have 2. Let's start getting realistic about it. They might get 2. They like the 2024 guy, Ryan Puglisi. Obviously, this guy can flip whenever he wants, right? For now, he's a future Georgia Bulldog. If Carson has a good year and goes to the draft, then they'll have 3 guys again. It'd be a fight between Brock and Gunnar and Ryan Puglisi for the starting quarterback job in 2024, or Carson Beck stays, or someone leaves. The transfer portal has been there. People have transferred. Justin Fields transferred out. Jacob Eason transferred out before the transfer portal became what it is today. Hold on one second. They got Grayson Lambert. Obviously, that's not a great land, but that's my point. Is this program will. I wouldn't be freaked out about it. Is kind of my point at the end of the day. Georgia has recruited great talent at quarterback over the last few years, whether they showed that talent at Georgia or not. Justin Fields, Jacob Eason. Jake Fromm was a 3-year starter and had a good career that fell off at the end, but had a good career. Stetson Bennett is in that mix. Brock Vandagriff, Carson Beck, and Gunnar Stockton are not excluded from that conversation. Ryan Puglisi is probably not going to be excluded from that conversation. Quarterback seemed to be an issue for Georgia at a point in time. It's not anymore. All right, their quarterback just went to New York as a Heisman finalist. I don't think that this is some issue. And I keep saying that. Not everyone's making an issue. It's probably the loud minority. But I just wouldn't be freaked out. I think that we know what they could have with Carson. I think you know what they could have with Carson. You know what they could have with Brock Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton. We know what the talent is there. If I had to guess, none of them are going to leave. If I had to guess, none of them are going to transfer out. So they should have 3 legitimate scholarship quarterbacks on deck next year. And then you wait for the other guy to join while someone else may leave. That's just the reality of the situation. People are going to come in. It's a filter system in and out. And the people who buy in are going to stay. The people who succeed are going to stay. And the people that wait their turn for success are going to stay. Pierce Jackson, Stetson Bennett, Zion Logue, these, Christopher Smith. I'm just naming people that wait their turn. Georgia's in a really good spot holistically. And I don't think that excludes the quarterback position either. Thanks for watching. Links down below for all that good stuff.